Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
Man, am I fired up. Welcome to Remember the Show, episode 78. It is October 13th, 2022. 9 short days away from UFC 280, where the 5th-ranked welterweight will make his continuing climb to the top of the mountain. I'm speaking to my co-host, Belal, remember the name Muhammad. I'm Jason Anik, the president of Team Muhammad. Dude, I'm so excited. We're getting there, brother. How you doing, man?
My bro, man, honestly, the time feels like it's flying by out here. Abu Dhabi, the time is always on fast forward. Like, we'll sit there, train in the morning, and then we'll come back and it'll be like 9 p.m. We're like, where the heck are these days going? But I like it that way because I'm like, bro, fight week is almost here. I was like, get to that date. That's the finish line. That's what it's all been working toward. Can't wait to freaking finally be in the cage.
Oh, I'm sure. So, dude, you got your whole crew there. So, newest addition of the crew there, Jared Flash Gordon. There he is. There's Flash.
Yo. You're on TV, dude.
What do you mean newest edition?
Like, you just got to Dubai.
You just got here. Like, if there was a fourth corner man, you would be the guy, no? He didn't like that question.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I just think it's unbelievable that you made the trip. There's Lou Taylor. What's up, man?
How you feeling? All good, all good. How everybody doing?
Doing great back here, man.
Good, but we appreciate you being in our corner, in Bilal's corner. You're the fourth cornerman.
I love it. Well, dude, how about Flash? I didn't know Flash was going to make the trip to Abu Dhabi. That's the second time, if I'm not mistaken. He was there with you before, no?
Yeah, the last time I fought out here, he was out here with me, and then
dude, that's loyalty.
That's my dude right there. I was sitting there messaging him. I'm like, bro, come on. And he would have came out here earlier, actually, but he cornered last week for Bellator. Everybody wants a piece of Flash. So, yeah, he finally got out here. You know him, Bougie, flew out here business class. But no, he's part of the crew. He has the beard already. A lot of these Russians are thinking he's Russian already because of his grappling. And it's been hilarious. It's like you said, it's like, the last 4 weeks has been me and Lou. So now when you got your boys here now, it's just like makes it that much funner. It gives you that burst of energy you need.
I love it. So, dude, the camp, obviously we're following on social media. What's it been like? So talk to us. What's the experience been like? It's almost like a boot camp, man. It's like out of the United States in a whole different world. How you feeling? I'm sure you're feeling good. You look good.
Yeah, honestly, it's been amazing experience. It's been just like a different level, training with these guys and to be in a camp with other guys that are fighting that same day. So you got Islam fighting for the title, obviously his biggest fight of his career. You got Zubaira fighting on there, and then also Abu Bakr's fighting on there. So it's 4 guys all in the same room, all hungry, and you're being led by who I consider the GOAT and Khabib. And it's just the discipline, the team, the brotherhood that these guys have, and the brotherhood that they're giving us now has been another level. And 2 days ago, we were actually we went to the children's hospital, and honestly, that like changes your like viewpoint, your life, because we went there and there was a lot of kids with kidney failure and kids that have been in the hospital for weeks, months, and you're looking at these poor kids that like it makes you just think of how much we take our health for granted, our life, our time for granted. And there was like one girl that was coming out and she's like, oh, I've been here for 2 weeks. I get to finally leave, and how happy she was. And I'm like, oh, you're going to go play with your friends? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to play with my friends. And, oh, your mom better not make you go to school yet. And she's like, no, she doesn't. And it was like, just to see the happiness on her face. It like breaks your heart, but it also makes you happy. But it was just crazy because like our fight doesn't mean anything.
Right. Put it in perspective. Yeah. It's like scrap with Sean Brady is what it is, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It like doesn't mean anything. And like the fact that like us showing up made these kids smile, made these kids, happy. It was so fulfilling. It was crazy. And it was like, man, that was probably one of the best things we did since we've been here. And we've been everywhere. I was courtside at the first NBA game down here, which is also sick. Yeah, it was courtside. We got to see Trae Young. Trae Young put on a show the first half.
Nice.
Gian sissied out. He didn't play, but we all know guys from Milwaukee are soft.
That sounds like the guy from Chicago. So speaking of Chicago, I have to ask you, where are your brothers going to be watching this fight? They're going to be together?
My oldest brother here today, actually. Or got here yesterday.
I love it.
Yeah. So he just got out here yesterday, and then my younger brothers are going to come out here next week.
Dude, you got so much love. It's like my brother on the podcast, he's like, I just can't wait to see Belal to give him a hug. You know, it's like, dude, it's, I'm telling you, man. So you got an army behind you back here, bro.
That's what makes me want to train hard, fight harder, is because like, even like little things like Lou coming down here with me for 4 weeks. He has 2 kids and a wife back at home, and they had like a family trip planned. And just to know that he's willing to put all that aside to help me reach my goals, reach my dreams. He's already been a champion. He's already reached the mountain top, and he's just coming out here with me just to help me reach my goals. That just makes me know that I have the right people with me, the right people in my circle that want to see me succeed. Jared, he just won his fight. He was just in Cali. Why did he have to come here? He didn't have to come here to fly across the world. He's jet lagged right now. He got diarrhea. But he's here to help me. So honestly, like, it just makes me know that, like you said, that I'm loved and I have the people around me wanting to see me, and it only just motivates me more.
I love it. All right, so moving on to the next topic, obviously getting up close and personal with Islam Makhachev. So I know you love you some Charles Oliveira as well. And so obviously we're not going to ask you to make a pick in this fight, but what have you learned being around him that maybe I'm not saying that you had to lean one way or another, but I'm sure that you look at this fight a little bit differently being so intimately close to that camp.
Yeah, honestly, he's been like the biggest eye opener because a lot of people don't see his personality side. And he's literally one of the most down to earth, coolest dudes that I've ever met. Like, literally such a humble dude. And like, you're about to have the biggest fight of your career, and like, he has no ego. There's no, oh, yeah, I'm the main event. You need to get off my mag, move to this side or that side. He's teaching me so much, showing me so many pointers. He'll hit me with something, and the skill that he has is just another level. And when you hear it all the time, like I say, people will say, oh, well, everybody's always saying it, Islam's going to be better than Khabib. Islam's going to be better than Khabib. And, there's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Going with him, I'm like, bro, this guy is definitely going to be one of the best to ever do it. And he's learning from Khabib, the person that he's been with him since the beginning, since the start. And you can just tell how much it means to Khabib that Islam's fighting for the title, and how much love they have for each other. There's not I don't want you to do better than me. That's what Khabib wants. He wants you to do better than him. He wants you to push yourself to another level. Like, just the way that he treats a lot of these guys, it's out of love, and he doesn't have to do it. He has all the money in the world. He has all the business in the world. He's undefeated. He's retired. What is he here for? He doesn't have to be here, but he's here, and he's telling us what to do, showing us different things, taking some of these guys' phones if they look tired. Like, hey, yo, you're not taking it seriously enough. Do this, do this, do this. And yeah, it's like, it's crazy. And even with Islam, it's like, Jared just got here 2 days ago, and Islam's like, oh, hey, Jared, let's roll. And I'm like, bro, you're about to have the biggest fight of your career. You're going to want to roll with Jared, a guy that you just met, a guy that you just met. And it was just like so cool to see that, like, it wasn't like yo, you're new here, get to the back of the line or anything like that. He was like, yo, hey, Jared, come on, let's go. Let's get some rolls in. And it was cool to see. Obviously, he killed Jared, but no, but it was just awesome to see. It was cool, and it's fun that that they have respect for the people that are in this circle. Like, if you're in that circle, you're in that circle.
That's what I was about to say. Like, how cool is it to get in that inner circle? But it's mutual. Do you know what I mean? You're in that circle for a reason.
Yeah, and even with that, like my brother just got here yesterday, and I was like I said, the gym we go to is literally the Prince's private gym. So like you need to have clearance to even get in there. Like there's so many local people here that are like, bro, could you get me in? Could you get me in? Is there any way you could I just want to see it? And I'm like, bro, I can't. I really can't. But then I told Habib, yo, could my brother come to the gym? Yeah, your brother. Yeah, for sure. Let him come. And it was cool because now I get to let my family see it. My brother gets to see it. He experienced it with me, and it's amazing.
I love it. The reason why I asked about your brothers. All right, so moving on. So obviously UFC 280 isn't this weekend, but Brett Okamoto had an article saying Volkanovski badly wanted the opportunity to be the backup for this lightweight championship fight. First of all, curious a little bit how his hand is. And I guess Beneil Dariush has also been told he's backing up for. I don't really care much about this. I hope these two guys are healthy, but do we have two backups for this fight? What's going on?
Yeah, that was weird where if I have a feeling, I mean, obviously I feel like Volkanovski gets first dibs just because he's the champion. He's number one pound for pound. And I feel like he was pushing it hard. But if you're Beneil, you're like, bro, what the heck? Like I feel like they only put Beneil on his card at first just to be the backup in case something like that happens. So you put a title, one of the undercard fights like that. So it made a lot of sense. And then then when you're looking at it that way, but obviously you're Beneil, you're like, all right, perfect. I'm on that card. I'm on a title fight card. And this is the reason it happened. But then you have Volkanovski coming out saying, yo, I'm the pound for pound champion. I want to be the backup. And he's pushing it that way. So you're UFC, you're like, well, okay, I'm going to give the champion first dibs. And it just throws Beneil in a rough spot. So I have a feeling that Volkanovski is probably the legitimate backup. And Beneil is probably just assumed that he was because he was on the card. But it just sucks for him because he's on the biggest streak. He was supposed to fight Islam last. And, injuries happen, yada, yada, yada. But now he has a very tough fight in Gamrot.
Right.
So if an injury does happen and they don't let him get the replacement fight, it's going to suck for him. Like you feel for him, but then you also understand Volkanovski's point. And if I'm Volkanovski, I'm like, why do you want to be a backup fighter? You're the pound for pound king. You're dominating your division. I'm sure the UFC would give you the next title fight after this regardless. Like have a real camp for it. Because if you're going to fight a guy like Islam on short notice, it's not going to be a good thing for you, I think. Because you have to bring in real wrestlers. Or Charles, yeah, obviously. Or Charles. Right. But, like, you're going to need to bring a specific style of camp to that. And if you're a backup fighter, how hard are you training for it? How hard are you pushing for it? How hard are you actually thinking that you're going to get this fight? I don't think you're going to have the same mentality as if you did have this fight.
Yeah, and Alex is a little guy. You know what I mean? That's a different, that move up, I would think would want a full camp. But I guess his hand must be healthy if he's there. But either way, as we know, there's a lot in this UFC world about entertainment. Volkanovski wanted to get his name talked about. You know what I mean? Just by being there, But either way, Beneil Dariush got his hands full as an underdog facing Gamrot. So Benny comes through. So, all right, moving on. So in your division, it was just announced December 3rd, Orlando, Florida main event. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Kevin Holland. Fascinating to get your take on this fight. Nice for Wonderboy to get a striker, in my opinion. Got to think Kevin Holland may be trying to get him to the ground. I don't think Wonderboy has cracked the octagon since being handled by Belal Muhammad. Talk to me. This fight pique your interest at all?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be a fun fight. There's a lot of people saying, oh, Holland's going to kill Wonderboy. I'm like, bro, do you know what Wonderboy's striking is? Like, his kickboxing is another level. And for a guy like Holland, the thing with Holland is he comes from different angles. He's wild with his strikes, and he's fast with his strikes. And he's very long himself. But I just think that a big cage, it's going to be a rough night for him unless he wrestles. I feel like there's nobody that's going to go in there and outstrike a Wonderboy. And especially with a guy like Holland's style, he throws his kicks wide, long, but Wonderboy sees that stuff. His angles are different. His footwork is different. And with that bigger cage, I think he's going to really catch Holland with some hard strikes, different strikes. Holland's going to have to wrestle. He's going to have to grapple if he's going to have a chance against this fight, I think.
Yeah, I agree with every word of that. That's what I was thinking when I haven't seen a line yet, but I'm with you. And happy for Wonder Boy, because you think Wonder Boy wants to fight Belal Muhammad? Just make his life hell for 3? No. All right. Final topic. Frankie Edgar, retirement fight November 12th at MSG. I know a lot of guys drop the gloves in the cage, but I like knowing that this is the last time I'm going to get to see the answer fight in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. This dude has been such a legend. It's funny, him and Maurice, I guess Maurice wants to be part of this camp. Maurice is fighting Burgos in PFL November 25th, but I guess they used to train a long time together. And so Maurice like, I want to be part of this camp, but I guess he was like, but I can't stay too long because, he's fighting a taller fighter in Burgos. Frankie, a small guy, but I thought that was great. Those guys getting back together. Can't wait to see Frankie, man. I hope he wins.
Yeah, definitely every fighter's favorite fighter is Frankie Edgar. This is the guy that's been in the game, that got you starting to watch fighting. His heart, the fact that he fought at lightweight is crazy, because he'll probably like you walk around at 154 and he was the champion at lightweight, and it just showed you heart could help you in this fight game. And like you said, he's one of the good guys in the sport, and to see his last couple losses, last couple knockouts, you feel for it, because you never want to see a legend like that go out like that. So I think this is really a good fight for him to go out on. I think it's a good matchup for him, and to go out in MSG is just another level. But we got to give boy Jared Gordon MSG. They're not giving a New Yorker a New York fight. Like, literally had this dude fighting in Salt Lake City. Jared,
seriously,
call out Patty. All right, see,
great call out, just great call out. But seriously, so who is it? Maynard or Shelby for Flash?
Sean
Shelby.
Okay. So get Flash. He was healthy, unscathed in his last fight. Clean win.
Yeah, and like he's down here in shape. I told him from the beginning, like, if you're gonna come down here and train, just know that you got to be in shape to train with these guys. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in shape. I'm going. And like, he's jet lagged off the plane, but he was still going.
Diarrhea.
He's he's diarrheaing everywhere in the cage, but he's still rolling. He's not giving.
That's good for the weight cut, though. He's got that Felice hair going on, I guess.
Oh, nice. All right, Cody, good to hear your voice. Well, it's hard not to focus on UFC 280, but there is a fight card this weekend. Let's get to Bully's picks.
Area.
Yeah.
So, Belal, will you watch this fight card?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Will you watch this fight card this weekend?
Yeah, a lot of the time, since the time is like such a out of the way. Like, for the last fight card I watched, I just went to bed after Brendan Allen's fight, and then I woke up, didn't look at the results, and I just started watching it from there. Like, I'll get like on the treadmill or something, and then watch it live without looking at any of the results. So for this one, I'll probably do the same thing, except for when Sandhagen fought Song Yadong. And I didn't look at it. I woke up. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go run right now, and I'm gonna watch the fight. And then Lou goes, "Oh, dang! You saw that? You saw how saw that cut that happened on Song Yadong?" And I'm like, "Bro, please! I did not look at the results. I didn't tell you who won though." I'm like, "You just said that cut on Song Yadong." So I'm like, "Bro, come on."
It's like when you go to watch the post-fight show on ESPN, and they literally always have the winner as like the post-fight show thumbnail, and you're like, "Oh, great! Yeah. Like, thanks."
Yeah, I was like, no, I was about to get hyped up for this, and then the way the fight started, I thought it was gonna be like a great fight, great war, and then
see, Lou was trying to do you a favor. He was trying to save you that 25 minutes. He's like,
first of all, when you sleeping next to an MMA nerd like this guy, and you have went to sleep and you saw some stuff, I don't know, like he could have like. The UFC content digitally could have been like implanted in his brain when he was asleep. I don't know.
I hear you.
I saw that. I was a little excited. He's a buddy. I said, "Yo, you saw this? Oh, now he mad?"
I hear you. Right? How does he not know? I get it.
I know. How do you not know? I mean, they put a little chip in your brain.
It's part of when you sign the new deal.
So Brendan Allen, like. I enjoyed that so much. I'm so pleased for him. And dude, I absolutely loved on the mic, and even just right after, just how he was really trying to sort of be cool with that dude. Like, he's still a young kid, and all these moments matter. I know he's talking about, his Monster Energy and all that, but I'm talking about just, I just liked the Brendan Allen that I saw on the mic and in the cage. I was fired up. I'm sure you were too.
Oh yeah, super fired up. It was like one of those. I gotta tell people, man, they do not know how good this kid is. His natural talent is another level, and like he did what Chimaev did to Holland first. And when people are like, "Oh man, look how Chimaev killed Holland," I'm like, "Bro, Brendan Allen did it to him too." But people don't know him yet, and they're gonna start realizing how good he is. He called out Munoz, who's a killer, and you're like, "Whoa, yo, relax." But I'm like, "Bro, this kid's a killer. He could stand with these guys. He could be a ranked guy up there. He could definitely be a champion." So it's cool to see that. Like you said, he's still young, but he's starting to come out there. And to finish a guy like Jotko like that early and that quick, and with all that trash talk leading up to it, where he was being cocky, and I'm like, bro, just worry about the fight. Train hard, train hard, train hard. Yep. And he talked the talk and he walked the walk.
Got that one back for GM3, which was nice.
Yep.
For the team. Anyway.
Well, sneaky Killcliff FC, sneaky becoming the top team over there in Florida, huh? They should call them American second team from now on.
Jared doesn't. Jared's a part of the Dagestani team now.
All right, so let's get to this weekend's fight real quick. First one, we're going to pick co-main event bantamweight division. Cub Swanson, believe it or not, dude made his pro debut in 2004. This is his first time fighting as bantamweight. What a run, man. 40 pro fights for this guy. Last time out, he had his whole family at the Apex and just mauled the damage, Darren Elkins, which was fun to watch. Anyway, Kenny Florian thinks, Cub, a little bit of a higher level than his opponent here, Jonathan Martinez. Martinez about a 2-1 favorite, 10 years younger than Cub here. He's won 3 in a row. Dude, it's just another high-level bantamweight that's unranked in the UFC, Jonathan Martinez. So who do you like in the co-main event, Belal?
Man, Martinez, honestly, he's a monster. He's that kid I'm looking up, and I'm watching him on the come up, and I'm like, oh, this kid's going to be a beast. He's really good. His striking is really good. He's huge for that weight class. Cub, a legend of the game, been in the game so long. Yeah, he had a great great fight against Darren Elkins, but I feel like Darren Elkins is another guy at his age. He's another guy that's been in the game for a while, is a veteran of the game, and I just feel like Jonathan Martinez is a lot hungrier than Darren right now. But the thing with Martinez, sometimes he misses weight, sometimes he looks out of shape when he comes in there. Mm-hmm. So if he's having an off night, Cub's going to take advantage of that. But I think that, like I said, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. He has been looking good, getting better every single fight. I'm going to pick Jonathan here.
Cody.
Well, I can't help but agree with Bully because I do not think that the weight jumps later in your career have ever been successful in the UFC. Cub Swanson's dropping down to a weight class that, I think he has a hard time making 145, let alone going down to 35. So, I think a lot of the tenacity that he's had to put in camp is going to drain him. He's said he's been working on the weight cut for 3 to 4 months, that has a toll on you. And I also think being at the Apex, quiet Apex, Jonathan Martinez trains out of Factory X, it's a great corner. I think that's a factor too. And, I'm shocked to see Cub Swanson, still competing at this age. He's obviously up long in the tooth and he's a legend of the game. We saw him get inducted in the UFC Hall of Fame. And I just think, not to say that anybody's going out there fighting for a paycheck, but when you're making the kind of money Cub is, that's obviously a big factor, to get in there and get work. So, I agree with everything that Bully said. And as long as Jonathan Martinez comes in and dotting his I's, crossing his T's, I don't see a reason why he can't go in there and have a great scrap with Cub. I would actually think this probably goes to a decision. So Jamar by decision is probably a nice little prop there.
Main event of the evening, women's flyweight fight. Alexa Grasso, the 5th ranked versus Vivian Araujo, the 6th ranked. So about 2-1 underdog here. So Grasso's calling this the semifinal, as if the winner is getting Valentina Shevchenko in a championship opportunity. Maybe that'll be the case. Grasso, I like her a lot. Won 3 straight, submitted Joanne Wood last time out, rear naked choke. That was back in March. She's faced some tough competition. Her last 2 losses, Tatiana Suarez and Carla Esparza. I love Tatiana Suarez. Brian Petrie, who does picks on the Anik and Florian podcast every week, said this week, Bully, and you'll appreciate this because I know you love Tatiana, that without her injuries, she's champion. And people, when's the last time she's fought? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know I got off on a tangent there, but love me some Tatiana. Anyway, Araujo, 5-2 in the big show, won 3 of her last 4, all by decision, 35 years old. Think this is certainly going to be her last chance if she's going to get any type of championship opportunity. Cody, take us off first in the main event.
Well, Jay, I think you laid it out, all by decision, right? So for me, as far as a betting play goes, I think it's pretty easy to say that, this fight's going to go to a decision. Who I'm picking in that decision, I got to go with the youth. Araujo, 35 years old, like you said, hasn't had a finish since 2019. I think all that stuff kind of plays into a factor. The smaller cage, 25-footer, leans better for Grasso. Grasso has obviously had a lot of success, implementing her ground game. The only time that she's lost is against high-level grapplers. Araujo is not that, even though she's Brazilian. She's much more of a striker. So I do think that Grasso is going to go in there, and there's going to be a lot of, for lack of a better word, boring clinch situations and things like that. So, depending on the ref, you might have a lot of breakups and things like that. But I think that Grasso should cruise and play a safe game here and, float towards a decision. So Grasso by decision is the play for me.
Remember the name?
Yeah, I mean, Araujo actually has decent wrestling. She has pretty good wrestling. Grasso, sometimes she plays the ground a little bit too much. And a couple of her fights where, getting an armbar her last fight, maybe it's going to make her think that she's a jiu-jitsu guy. You going to sleep?
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, Flash.
Good night, Jared.
That's the rates. And
Yeah, you're paying for it, right? You may as well just use the hotel room.
you just see your faces real quick.
Yeah, you look like you're in great shape, by the way.
Look at that beard. He's got that Dagestani beard going.
Slept like 4 hours in the last 7 days, and I'm losing all my nutrients through my ass right now.
Nice.
See you later.
Dude, you're the man. How about your boy going to Abu Dhabi twice for you?
Yeah, he's the.
What? I hope they didn't sit him next to Megan on the plane this time.
Tell her she could. Never mind.
The jet lag's been terrible for him today. But then you're trying to figure out a way to beat it. You're like, I'm going to stay up all day today. I'm going to do this today. But I'm like, dude, there's nothing to it. Like whenever you're feeling tired, you just have to take a nap. You have to go to sleep because you're not going to beat it. Like even if you get you stay up the whole day today, then you go to sleep, and then you're still only going to get 2 hours of sleep because you're still going to wake up at 2 a.m. randomly, and you're going to be wide awake. So it makes no sense, no rhyme or reason for it. So that's my brother is knocked out right now. He's trying to hope that he gets on a good schedule. Will Harris, the first day he got here, shooting anatomy of a fighter, shout out to Will. He was like, yeah, I ain't sleep the whole plane right here. It's been nighttime. I'm going to get right on schedule. Then all of a sudden, 2 days later, jet lag killing me. I'm like, bro, there's nothing to it. Sorry about the.
No, I mean,
but that's interesting because you think about Jared, right? He doesn't have the mental preparation that he's about to fight. Your brother doesn't, right? So they can fight through it. But these other guys that are fighting that are getting there the same time Jared gets there, that's a real thing.
Oh, yeah. And I think I heard that Volkanovski saying that he's going to get here Sunday. And I'm like, there's still a 7-hour time difference between here and Australia. What? Why is this guy getting here Sunday? If you're really taking it that serious, Islam was calling out Oliveira all the time. Yo, you said you're going to be here 20 days later. And it's not he's not saying it as in, oh, you're afraid or anything like that. Islam wants this fight. He's like, bro, get out here earlier so it could be a real fight. I want to fight the best Charles. I want you to not be jet lagged. I don't want you have excuses after I win this fight. And I think he just got out of here a couple days ago, 3 days ago or something like that. So these first couple days, you're going to have to go through it. And for a guy that missed weight your last fight, being here that long, cutting weight, jet lag, it's going to be a rough weight cut for him. So maybe we'll be seeing Volkanovski as a replacement fight. But Islam and all these guys, man, that's the mindset they have is, I don't care who's in front of me. I train for everybody. And that's what's the cool thing about it, because it just makes you – it levels you up and yourself and your intensity as well, because you're seeing what they're doing. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's not they have some science, new science drills they're doing, new science projects they're doing where they're like, oh, man, this is crazy. They're doing this at this gym, and that's why they're so good. That's why all of them are good. It's just literally hard work, and it's to get into a breaking point mentally where you don't break, you just keep going. And that's what all these guys have. They don't have no break in them. I sat there and I had a couple of guys in the guillotines and they're not going out. And I'm like, bro, what the heck? And it's I got to go harder than that. Because that's how it's going to be in a fight. It's life or death for these guys. It's not, this is a game of fun. It's not a game of, it's not like a recess roll or anything like that. This is every day we're going hard. Every day we're going to battle. Every day is a war. And that's what this camp has done for me. That's what this mindset they're giving me. It's a different type of mindset. It's a different type of energy that I got training with these guys, and I can't wait till next week to bring it.
Gets me fired up because it's a switch you can't turn on and off, right? Like if you're in camp training to tap, what's going to happen when you're in the fight? You're going to tap. The instinct is there, you know?
Yeah, and then you're over here. You're going. Every single one of these guys is a monster. There's so many. There's guys in here that aren't in the UFC, and you're like, bro, like, how is this guy not in the UFC? And you're like, oh well, he's only 19 years old. He's 20 years old. And you're like, oh wow, let me get in. Let me get this time, and let me retire real quick.
Yeah,
right.
That's how I feel when I used to play basketball in Harlem.
Yeah, I'm like, bro,
like 14-year-old kids dunking.
And that's what it is now. That's what it is with these guys. These are this younger generation. These guys have been training so long, and they've been training with Khabib, Islam, and all these guys from out there. So they're getting that high level training since they were that young, and you're seeing it and you're living it with Khabib, and you're seeing him reach his goals, and you're seeing everything that he did, and you're trying to follow in his footsteps. And he's showing you the footsteps. He's showing you the way to do it. It's not like he's, out of the picture. Is like, let me just come in when the camera's in the room. No, right. He's in there training. He's rolling with us. We just did a cardio session right now, and he's running with us. He's on the bike with us, and he's in the recovery room with us. He's doing everything with us, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be there with us. So that's what the amazing thing about it is, and for him giving his time, which is priceless. It's like the knowledge you get. Like he's a guy that I've looked up to, a guy that I've watched, a guy that I've always wanted to meet, and I would get excited when I got a picture with Khabib. I'm afraid to ask him for a picture, but now I'm training with him. I'm learning from him. He's gonna be my corner with me, and to see how serious he's taking it. Where he's like, I watched his tape. He does this, this, and this. So you should do this, this, and this for that. I'm like, this ain't a publicity stunt. Let me be in his corner. Let me try to get so I get a win real quick. It's like, nope, I'm here talking to Lou. I think you should do this, this, and this. What do you think? What is your guys' ideas? So that's what the cool thing about it is. And like I said, it's going to be amazing next week.
Dude, give me all of this shit. I love it.
Well, and so that's why I took the lower off before we ask you for your main event pick here, and maybe we bring Lou into the conversation. But like, what has that been like as far as the adjustment of adding Khabib to the corner? Obviously he's a strong voice, but like he's being added to your corner. So like, how has that dynamic been, behind the scenes?
It's been cool. Like I said, when we spar, it's different. There's a specific sparring day for you. So when you're sparring, Khabib's in the corner, Lou's in the corner. It's like a fight. So them guys are standing there, literally watching your corner. And between rounds, they're coming in, giving you tips, giving you ideas, and just like the way that they click, the way that energy. It's not like, oh man, this is the first time we're going to be talking to Khabib. He's going to be in the corner. We're going to be nervous. We're not going to know how to talk to him. Yada, yada, yada. We're eating dinner with these guys. We're going to the park. We're going to appearances with these guys. So we're shoulder to shoulder in prayer. We're with these guys all the time. So it's not like it's going to be awkward moments or anything like that. And it's cool because even after every practice, like I said, we're having to sit down. We're asking. They're saying like, "Yo, what did you see? What are your thoughts?" And they're asking all my coaches. And they're asking Lou, what do you see? And then he's giving advice for this guy, giving advice for that guy, holding pads for this guy. And like I said, it's all like one big family now.
I love it.
It's awesome.
All right. Should we get his main event pick real quick? Who do you like?
I like Grasso. I'm going to pick Grasso. I think it's going to be a tough fight. And, she just has to avoid staying on her back, laying on her back, and allowing herself to get taken down. Because on her feet, I think she has really good hands, really good striking. Her boxing is always really good. And she's been picking up her wrestling, her grappling herself. So I think that if she keeps leveling up, she hasn't fought in a while, she's going to be able to win this fight. It's a big stage for her, a big name. And I think that she could definitely be fighting for the title after this.
All right, so he likes Grasso in the main event. So we're not going to do anything else on the fight night this weekend. So the UFC 280 matchups, we're not, our focus certainly is on Muhammad Brady. You could be sure. So we're not going to make you pick any of these fights, but Cody had a nice little grab bag for you. So we're going to give you 3 fights to choose from, and you can pick which one you want to just sort of break down a little bit for us. So 2 bantamweight fights, 1 lightweight fight. So The title fight, bantamweight, Aljamain Sterling, TJ Dillashaw. Aljo's minus 170 now. Dillashaw plus 145. There it is, right on my screen. Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley, the other bantamweight, minus 305. O'Malley plus 265. And Beneil Dariush. That money's I saw it plus 160. Keep going up versus Mateusz Gamrot, 2-1 favorite. Pick one of these. Break it down a little bit for us, whichever one you want.
I'll go with the Petr Yan fight. I like that fight a lot, and I think that there's a lot of people underestimating Sean O'Malley, and I think that it's not a puncher's chance. This guy, I think he's good. He's very skilled, and matchup-wise, it's not a bad matchup for him. Petr Yan's a guy that comes out very slow. He likes to make his reads in the first round, and if you're going slow, you're making your reads in the first round, and Sean catches you slipping. Sean is, I think, his best attribute is understanding distance. His feints are very good. Petr Yan does a very good job of keeping his hands up at all times, but Sean finds cracks. He finds loose ends in your defense, and his angles, that he uses. People were talking about, he plays basketball in there when he's having fun and stuff like that. I think that's when he's at his best, when he's in there just flowing. And I think that he's very good at flow state and getting in flow state early. And I think that if he comes out fast, comes out hard, it could be a rough night for Petr Yan early, because we've seen Yan get rocked before. And, fighting a guy like Sean, you probably tend to underestimate him. He's ranked far down the line. I'm the champion. I should still be the champion. Some people still think I'm the champion. And how good Petr Yan is, how dominant he's been, you're thinking that, all right, this is a nice bounce back fight for me. But it could be a bad night for you if you just get hit. Sean O'Malley is very good at finding that button. And I don't care how good you are, how strong you are, Sean got power. Sean knows how to find it, and his precision, very good. If it lands, you go to sleep. So I think that's one of the fights that I'm most excited for, honestly.
Well, I'm excited for you to sit there after a nice victory and enjoy watching that scrap. Cody, you got anything on that one?
Nothing to add. I just wanted to ask Belal. So when Jay and I were talking about this before, I lean on more the side that I think Yan is, should be a heavier favorite, just based on, I don't know what Sean brings in that Corey doesn't. So like that question I'm going to pose to you. What is Sean bringing to the octagon that Corey doesn't, who got handled by Yan?
Corey Sandhagen?
Yeah.
I think Corey looked good in the first couple of rounds. And I think that what Sean brings in is a full camp. Corey didn't have a full camp for that fight. And I think that Sean has more power in his hands. Corey's very good, very slick himself, has good angles. He landed on Yan, but I think that Sean has actually more power in his hands. And like I said, having a full camp, having a full 8 to 12 weeks to break down Yan, maybe he finds something that Corey didn't. And like you said, Corey has the same style as Sugar Sean. Sugar Sean could watch that fight. What did Corey land on him? Well, that I could land also too. But this time I could sit down in the punch. I could sit down and throw it harder than Corey.
Well, it's a 3-round fight too. It's hard to compare apples to oranges, because if you were to go back and say, hey, Corey, how would you approach that fight differently if it was a 3-round fight? It's probably a different strategy.
And for Peter, last couple fights have been 5-round fights himself.
Yeah,
so
last 2 years.
This time too, because his last couple of fights, he's been the first couple of rounds, it's reading. So now that he knows he's back to 3-rounders, he's going to start putting his foot on the pedal a little bit more. But that could also mess him up too, because now that he's not making those reads, maybe he gets caught early. Maybe he goes into a brawl mode a little bit, and maybe that affects him. Maybe he thinks that, I'm a little behind. Sugar Sean caught me a little bit. Now I got to step it up a little bit faster. And sometimes when you step it up a little bit faster, it leaves other openings.
And, Petr Yan, I've always been impressed with his athleticism. I think O'Malley's more athletic than Sandhagen. So I think there can be some match there on the athleticism front. But I'm with you, man. I was telling Cody earlier, I think Sugar Sean, I agree with you. I don't think just a puncher's chance. I think this fight fascinates me. I like the length and the reach. Let's go.
Well, and I also, I think that the ego comes into play. Like, I don't know Petr Yan. I'm not his friend. I've never talked to the guy, but I feel like that ego could really be a detriment. If you go in there and you're like, for 3 months, you're like, clown this, clown that, all this stuff, like all this hate against Sean. I'm sure that seeps in a little way. Like it's hard to maintain that and then also have this ambiguity of like, well, I still need to treat him like an opponent that's dangerous. Like who knows what their conversations around a dinner table about O'Malley might be like, oh, I'm going to walk through this guy. You can't do that in this sport, not in the UFC.
Heard. So Bully B, if we don't talk to you before next Saturday night, can't wait to watch you handle your business, man. You got an army back here, as I said earlier. So much love, man. Get it done. Can't wait to see you on the other side, bro.
My brother, appreciate you guys. Yes, can't wait. Next week, final of the year, baby.
Let's do it, man. For Cody Merrow and Belal, remember the name Muhammad. I'm Jason Anik. Thanks for tuning in to Remember the Show. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Let's do it.
Peace.